was in the States and I was working my first job, and somebody came in with a mouthful of chewing tobacco and said, "That's weak sauce," when I
Oh
told
my
them about
God.
something at work, and they obviously,
Yeah.
there's so many like new phrases coming out. Like if you go online and read any forum or anything, you will just come across such interesting language that was not around before, like saying some things like lit, or
Oh
it's
God.
just
Yeah. Dope. Dope's been around
dope.
for a minute, but I
Cooking.
still.
Cooking is another one. Like if something
Oh God,
is
that
really
one's
like
real young
delivering
for my blood. I'm
on its
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then on the other hand, you watch like an old like 80s movie. The other day I was watching like a scene from, was that an alarm?
This
What
is
is
a
that?
little handheld, and I'm so sorry to cut you off. This is a little I didn't mean to. This is a little handheld timer that I want to set so that we know when an hour is up. I did that last time. It was actually
Oh
kind of
right,
it was
because
kind of helpful, at least for me.
okay.
But it's really fucking annoying because you can't just this is a piece of plastic. You can't set the time. You have to hold down on the minute button until the minutes go
What the
to
hell?
60
What kind of
for
alarm
an
do you
hour.
have? Like
I don't know.
that sounds like the alarm that I heard from like the Alice in Wonderland cartoon.
Is there an alarm in Alice in Wonderland?
I think so.
Oh yeah, maybe there's yeah, like the man, Disney must like clocks and alarms and anything time related they're obsessed with
Probably,
because
yeah.
remember I can name okay, look like here. This is a great topic actually you just brought up.
Okay.
I'm going to name examples in Disney films where clocks and time are like a big deal.
Okay.
Okay, almost said Pirates of the Caribbean. Peter Pan.
Okay.
Peter Pan, there's a clock. The crocodile swallowed this ticking clock, this alarm clock thing. And
Right.
Captain Hook can always hear the crocodile coming because it's like tick tock, tick tock. Do you know what I'm talking
That's
about?
right. That's right. He
Yeah.
can.
So there's that. And then what was the one you just named with the time?
Well, besides Alice in Wonderland, but
There you go.
also
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast, there's a character who's a clock.
Fantastic. Great one. And by the way, a lead fucking character, not just a side piece. That's
No,
a big, that clock has a major presence in that film. You
that's
know what I
true.
mean?
He does.
And then those are great examples. So we've already named like 3. I'm going to name another, Cinderella. She needs to be home by a certain time or else her whole life is done. You know,
Yeah.
her prince is gone, whatever. There's like a time. It was midnight when the clock strokes 12 or something like that, right? Anyway, so I'm going to read this parable real quick. This is not a parable. This is a snippet from a book of cosmic chants
Okay.
that I got from the yogic or the center for sort of like Hindu kind of, Eastern religion. And it's over in Santa Monica,
Mm-hmm.
California. And so I got this pamphlet called Cosmic Chants, and I just opened to I'm going to read one or two of them. Is that all right?
Yeah. Yeah. Go for it.
Here's one. This one is called Who is Actually, I want to start with this other one. Okay, this one I dog-eared a couple of these pages. Oh, there's another expression, dog-ear.
Dog ear.
Okay, this one is called When Thy Song Flows Through Me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, life is sweet and death a dream. When thy song flows through me, my Lord, when thy song flows through me, then joy is sweet, sorrow a dream. Then health is sweet, sickness a dream. Then pray. Sorry, I almost started crying.
Oh my
I
goodness.
almost started crying. What the fuck? I'm sorry. This is beautiful. Then joy is sweet, sorrow a dream. Then health is sweet, sickness a dream. Then praise is sweet, and blame a dream.
Okay.
Wow.
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 You have any thoughts on this?
I don't know. This definitely doesn't sound like weak sauce to me.
That's a great response. I love
Oh my
that.
goodness.
I'm going
Yeah.
to read another one. I'm going to pop this one off
Nice.
here.
Let's do it. Yeah, pop it off.
Thank you for the support. This one's called Who is in my temple? Who is
Oh,
in my temple?
okay.
All the doors do open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. Darkness, like a dark bird, flies away, oh, flies away. Wow.
Wow.
Fuck. I mean, that's beautiful. Wow.
Time
Okay.
just to
Just that
process it.
part. I love that line, darkness like a dark bird. That's beautiful.
Hmm.
Karan and I have been talking about maybe making the podcast slightly more structured, in a fun way. And we've tossed around the idea, we've kicked around the can, been tossing it around the can. We've been tossing around the idea of, having segments. Like I feel like the first segment is updates.
An update? Like
Like
what
updates.
would be what would an update
It could be
sound like?
anything you want. It could be, and you and I will each take turns giving our whatever we want to share as an update. It could literally be something personal from your week, like some news or something that you did, or it could be about the show. It could be like, oh, we reached our 100th episode yesterday, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, what do you think of that idea of like starting with updates?
Yeah, that could be. But like, you mean updates from your life, or
Well, like I
like
was
life
just saying,
updates?
it could be anything you want. It's a little piece of news, either from your life or about the show. I mean, I don't think an update would be something like Paul Thomas Anderson came out with a new film today, because that's more like news.
Yeah.
So it's not public sphere news. It's more like updates about us, our lives, and this show. You know
Okay.
what I mean? That's what I'm thinking anyway. Do you think it would be cool to start an episode like that?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean,
I feel like we
yeah,
do it anyway because I feel like that's what's going to be sustainable.
one segment could definitely be just like us talking about a shared experience we had, either something to do with where we stayed or like a person that we met. Because the at least the feedback we've gotten so far on the show, that seems to be pretty popular. People really seem to like that. When
Absolutely. So 100%. I was thinking another section could be called stories.
okay.
So that we start the show with updates, which is just like, hey, this week I got a new car. Wow, yeah, applause, whatever. And then Curran is like, this week, work went really well. I took Zoe to the park. I went to the store, and then
People are
I
gonna
didn't
be
know that
like,
wasn't
"What
supposed to
the?"
sound so boring, but I also don't think it's boring though. Like, I don't know. I like hearing like people's just
Yeah,
simple life experiences. I relate to it. But yeah, as far as stories, yeah, I agree with you. I think stories are a huge part of what we do. And I think that should definitely be, and that could be stories probably mostly about the past, but just any good story, you
yeah,
know? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, well, so hopefully this new slightly more structured approach to the episodes might give people a little more of a what do you call, not window, a doorway into the show,
into the madness.
into the madness. Yeah, cuz it sounds like people didn't love it when we went all over the place
Oh
all
yeah.
the time.
Well, it's not like they didn't love it. They were just more like, you guys got to finish your stories.
Yeah, that
They were
too.
actually. It's kind of like if you were watching an episode of like Breaking Bad, and at some point like Walt's making his peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and he forgets to go to work at the laundromat and goes instead, for like a ride to Disneyland.
It's
And
basically Seinfeld.
so what's the deal with these?
Yeah. What's the deal with airplane peanuts?
Look, this is
Yeah.
what happens. This is how it starts. See, we're doing it
I
again. Okay,
know.
so that's a segment.
We're
That's a
already doing
segment.
it. Thank you.
Stories are a segment. We
Thank you for
can,
the discipline. Yes,
yeah.
we need
This
it.
you need a discipline. Yeah. Gotta-
What's that
gotta-
from?
I don't know.
I
It's just like a generic Japanese
I think it's
sensei.
from South Park.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's from South
You
Park.
showed that to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
should hire
You
a guy. He
showed
just
that.
like smacks us in the head every time we like go off.
Yeah.
You need a discipline. Okay. All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sensei.
That's what we need in the room is a sensei who will kind of, whip us into shape, keep us
I
in
know.
line.
Yeah, your mind is like a butterfly. It needs to be like a sharp a katana. I apologize to any Asian listeners that I don't mean any offense. I just watch a lot of cartoons.
But as might be the wisdom of the Cosmic Chants book from the Maharishna's temple, we each contain multitudes, and one among the multitudes that we contain could be a sensei figure
Yes,
within us. So Karan and I will try to embody a sensei
that's a good
in
idea.
in
Actually,
a
that's a
part
good
of
idea.
us. And that sensei will do what Karan just did, which is to say, hold on, let's get back on track. You're going off the rails. Going off the rails. That's another expression. No, don't. I won't. I've already being derailed. All those sayings are from olden times, which is
Right.
funny.
Yes.
It's funny.
Yes,
Anyway,
that's
but
right.
to get back, okay. Here's a final update from me, which I will
Okay.
share, and then Karan, I'll open the floor to you to share any update that you want.
Sure.
Actually, sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and claim I'm gonna make two updates if that's okay, and then
Two
I'll.
updates. That wasn't the
I know.
deal. That was what
What is
that's
this? I'm
well,
sorry. I know.
sensei.
Uh,
What should I do?
I'm
What
a
should I do?
blabbermouth.
It's
I'm an
okay. It's
oversharer.
okay. All right. Okay. Sensei says it's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you, Sensei. I did a bow. I
Okay.
did a
Good.
bow. I just
Good.
bowed.
Good.
And I heard a gong. But anyway, we're gonna get in trouble. Two updates. My first update is this: that Zashi shared that she really liked our last episode. She said she really liked the way we would sort of, like you said, stay on a topic until it felt completed. Yeah, she said it felt less chaotic, and she kind of not that a little chaos is okay. I mean, our first episode of our show was called Frontiers of Chaos. I mean, it's a
Right.
little chaos is par for the Berngotti course, but too much chaos. Second update I'll make is a personal update, and
Okay.
that personal update is that so I had just been like going through some different. I talked to Karan a little bit about it actually, but I'd kind of been going through a little bit of depression. And winter is definitely a time when people get depressed anyway,
That's true.
or are more prone to it.
That's
But
true.
I was going through a bit of a depressed feeling because I felt a little hopeless about, I'm a musician, and I felt hopeless about just the state of the world where it's like sometimes feels like people don't even care about the arts or about music anymore or about film or just any of the things that I love. And sometimes can feel a little barren where it's like it feels like it's more about being an influencer than an artist. And even the people masquerading as artists are really just influencers trying to draw views to their channel.
True.
And it's not even about the art. The art is like a means to an end. And then I started feeling almost like a little hopeless where I'm like, shit, I really like I care about the process and about the quality of the thing, and I will spend the time and the months or the years or whatever it takes to make a thing that I'm proud of or that I can get behind and say I think that this is great and I really like this, like as objectively as I can. And it just feels like other artists today don't do that, and they're just trying for quantity over quality, and
Mm,
they're trying to finish it as fast as possible, and if they have to use AI or use any bullshit shortcuts, they will in a blink of an eye do it. And because they just want to get it out. They want to make as many things as quickly as they can. Now, this is a vast generalization. I'm not saying all artists are that way. They're not. But again, when you're in that sort of negative state of mind about the world, you can get somewhat distorted, blurry thoughts that are
true.
overly negative. and overly generalizing. And that was a thought I was kind of working through, was like, do people care about art today? Do they care
Mm,
about music or film? There was a day in time, some decades ago, or maybe a decade ago, whenever it was, a couple decades back, when like you could really enjoy a kind of glory for creating a great piece of art that maybe not had a it maybe had a commercial appeal to it, but was also just truly artistically good. Like a David Lynch type, who is such a weirdo and a quirky bird, but so talented and such a visionary. He rose to such fame, David Lynch, for making his weird, brilliant art. And I don't see that happening today. Like, I can't
mm,
see a filmmaker today being like David
mhm.
Lynch and getting as famous
They're
and
not as
glorified.
celebrated. They're definitely, it's rarer that someone who's a little off is celebrated.
Right. It's just like, these giant budget comic book movies, and then a few super sensationalistic, kind of bombastic horror films with jump scares in theaters. And beyond that, it doesn't feel like you get these like interesting films. It's like the age of interesting art uh, feels dead. And I'm not saying it is dead, but sometimes when I'm in a negative state of mind, I feel like that.
Hmm.
And it's depressing. So I was
Mm,
I was going through a little bit of that, and so I took an antidepressant medication. I tried an antidepressant. The psychiatrist I sometimes see, for not for therapy but for prescriptions, because I have, like I said, I have ADHD, so I take Vyvanse.
mhm.
So she refills that for me, and we just like, I meet with her once a week or once every few weeks, and she's just like, "All right, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm good," and she's like, "All right, that's great to hear. What can I refill for you?" It's
That's interesting.
psychiatrists aren't therapists; they're just there to figure out a treatment plan from a pharmaceutical standpoint and then
I see.
prescribe you something.
Okay, yeah. So that's the difference. That's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
but do you think she helps you? Because frankly, I mean, not to go away too much, but there have been times when I also, go through phases where I feel a little low, and I have been considering talking to somebody,
Yeah,
just because, like, well, what, I mean, I have a very supportive wife who's always open, has an open ear, but at the same
totally.
time, you don't feel like kind of not burdening, but you don't want to. Everyone's going through their own stuff. You don't want
It's
to
true.
like put your stuff on somebody else. So you kind of feel like, yeah, it might not be such a bad idea to speak to a stranger, someone who's objective. But so you find that that's helping
That's
you to,
beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Curran. I really appreciate you
of
sharing
course.
that, and it means a lot. And it's beautiful to hear you share that. It's very personal, but it's also not personal. It's
No,
universal.
yeah, it
And
is. It is. I think,
everybody, yeah.
I think these days, especially this time of year, yeah, feels like a lot of people are going through some stuff. So, yeah, it's curious. I want to hear. Like, do you get value from meeting this person and speaking to them?
So, so like I said, the one I see is a psychiatrist, not
Hmm.
a psychologist. And
Okay.
so Um, she doesn't give me therapy, but I simply see her to make sure I continue to get my Vyvanse. Vyvanse is not an antidepressant, it's a stimulant, and it's prescribed to people with ADHD.
Okay.
And it essentially increases the dopamine levels in your brain so that you can focus better and longer.
Hmm.
And it works. It's a lot like Adderall, but it's a little bit less hard on your brain and your heart. So for
Okay.
long-term use, Vyvanse is technically healthier than Adderall. Little quick
Okay.
quick tip for my ADHDers out there. But and I've taken both, by the way.
Yeah.
Went a little off, again, use that phrase, went a little off the rails in college with Adderall, matter of fact. But we don't have
Yeah. I
to get
took a little
in too deep
Adderall
into that.
in college too. Was my
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I used to snort it.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
snorted it. I was always averse to that. But I remember living
Don't
with
blame you.
roommates who were American, and like whenever we were in the same class, big project due, I would be working on it like weeks in advance, and they were just like, "Yeah, I'm not worried." They weren't worried. They were just so chill. And then the night before, they would be like, "I got some Adderall. I'm gonna crank this thing out, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Sounds
they.
really healthy. I've done that too, but problem is when I used to take Adderall, I would end up well, first of all, I think I was on too high of a dose because they didn't sanction it very well in those days. I hope they sanction it better now.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't, but in those days, you could just walk into the guidance counselor's office and be like, I think I kind of take a little long to do. Okay, Adderall prescribed 60 milligrams. Go, baby, go. And that was it. And you had your prescription. That's literally what I did. I just walked into some lady's office and she's like, so what can I do you for? And I was like, well, I didn't even know I had ADHD back then, and neither did she.
Right.
Nobody did. I was undiagnosed. But I was like, well, it takes me a really long time to finish tests, and a lot of times I don't finish a test or an exam, and other kids do, and it's just a struggle to like finish and to really focus. And she's like, all right, you know what? I've heard enough. Adderall for you. A spoonful of sugar makes the Adderall go down. Here's your prescription. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Say
And
no
that
more,
was it.
fam. I got you.
Yeah,
That's another
fam.
slang, by the way. Fam.
Oh my God. That was hilarious.
My God.
Love that.
Sounds like these guidance counselors are just, cranking stuff out. Like,
They're drug dealers. I mean, I don't know what they're like now. Back in those days, they were just hustler drug dealers. I don't know. There's a lot more. There was a lot more drug selling and a lot less guidance given.
I got some guidance for you. Take some.
Yeah, guidance in a bottle. Have a good stiff swig of that. But anyways, so this bitch prescribed. No, I'm kidding. Oh God. Okay, get back on track, buddy.
Back on track.
Sensei.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Sensei.
Yeah.
I bow to the Sensei. I show my.
No more Adderall. We Sensei. Now
Yes.
Now we go the Sensei round.
I show my deference. My deference to the Sensei. Okay, so anyway, so to answer your question, Karan, bringing it back, you asked about kind of like what's the difference between a therapist and a psychiatrist, or so and have I gotten any good use or any benefit?
Value, yes.
Value, yes. Value from seeing these people. So,
is it working? Just kidding.
You tell me.
Sorry. That's the last time I'm going to interrupt
Cut to the
you.
chase. Let's cut through the bullshit, buddy.
Let's cut straight to the point. Another slang.
Lean forward in your chair and spit it out. So,
brass tacks.
Get down to brass tacks. Yeah, there's another one. Another fucking expression.
Another fucking expression.
God damn. Brass tacks. Okay. Yeah. And by the way, I don't know what brass tacks means. I don't know.
Yeah, I had no idea that they meant brass tacks, like tacks that you would use to put something up on a notice board.
Wait, hold on. Are you kidding?
A very dated expression.
Are you kidding me? That's what it means?
That's what I thought it meant.
I thought it was referring to like income tax.
Oh, I thought it meant brass tacks, like, a tack that you would put. Okay, we might have to Google
yours
this.
Makes more sense. No, yours is better than mine. No, there's no question about that. I just don't know. I never made that connection. And by the way, it makes a little bit more sense, but still none.
It's clearly a dated expression because, there is the population that's still using a notice board with brass tacks has greatly reduced, I feel.
So we need new sayings. And I'm not just talking lit and fam and fire
and cooking and
cooking and dope. I'm talking and dank. We need new expressions. We can't just keep telling people to walk as the crow flies, or
as the crow flies.
Stay on the rails like they're a steam conductor or a steam engineer. We can't keep telling people these misleading phrases. We can't. It's just
not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's cash cows. We keep telling people don't know what we're saying when we say these things. Anyway.
No. No,
It's just
they
gibberish.
have no idea. But okay,
I certainly don't.
Sensei's breaking out his
Sensei.
nunchucks again. So
Yes.
okay, all right,
Deference to the sensei.
yeah, sorry.
All hail the reverence and deference to the all powerful sensei. I
Yeah,
apologize.
he's behind beside me in praying mantis
Yeah.
stance. So I
I
better
kind of wish we could give him a name.
Sensei. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Sensei, like Sensei
Um,
Johnson, or just
Sensei, yeah.
but not that though. Like that's
Sensei Johnson sounds like a guy who had a layover in Japan and has a
yeah.
Chinese tattoo that says water on it
Sounds like
on
the
his
founder of a
shoulder.
dildo company. It gets more real the more I think about that.
It's real. It's
Sensei
real.
Johnson.
Okay, that's who he is. That's we're gonna call him
That's gonna
Sensei
be a new
Johnson.
Netflix show. This
Sensei
founder of a dildo company. It
named
sounds
Sensei.
ridiculous, but since Netflix now has shows about every conceivable idea, it's like who's pitching these shows?
Yeah, it was like
What do they know to throw out and to keep? It's like somebody walks in, he's like, before he barely opens his mouth, they're like, green light, let's do it.
yeah.
It's like, let's make a show about a blanket weaver. Oh, that's beautiful, wonderful idea. I
That's
mean,
wonderful.
think how
Great.
deeply you could explore that topic.
I love
Boom,
it.
check mark,
I love it.
sign at the
You know,
dotted.
it's such an allegory for the fluid gender mechanics that we have in society today. Let's green lit.
Yeah, green light, green as an apple.
3 months later, I'm watching like Courtney
Right.
Cox playing a blanket weaver. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
More
What?
like 3 months later, I'm watching Breaking Bad for the 5th time.
That's more accurate. That's more accurate.
Fuck Courtney Cox. I'm back to Bryan Cranston's bald head. That's where my home is. That's where I live. That's where I live.
Word has come down.
There's a clip. Oh, that's such a
Okay,
good.
okay, I'm for
Okay,
our next
Sensei.
episode.
A deference and respect to Sensei.
Yeah, sorry.
We bow.
Sorry.
I bow in respect.
We really got to pay this guy like overtime. He's working his ass off. Okay.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
big time.
Okay. Let's backtrack
Yeah. Well,
back to the path.
Yeah, we got to
that
get
we
back.
were on.
Yeah, we're way off.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just take a second to get back. Remember. Oh yeah. Okay. So, Karan, to answer your question about therapists and psychiatrists.
Mhm.
Okay. So a psychiatrist, like I said, is more so about prescribing medicine and monitoring that process. And then a therapist or a psychologist is someone who sits down with you for maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, whatever it is, and talks with you one-on-one, and you can share and say whatever you want to share and say.
Okay.
So to answer your question, I've had experience with both. The first piece of advice I would like to give you is a psychiatrist and a therapist are not the same thing. A psychiatrist is technically considered like qualified, or they're allowed to act as a therapist as well, but just don't mix the two. Like don't go to Hooters thinking you'll get the best hamburger of your life. It's not for burgers. If you want a burger, go to Red Robin. They're pretty good.
Right.
If you go to Fat Burger, something.
Right.
Five Guys, delicious hamburger.
Time and a place for everything.
There's different entities specialize in different things, and you need to know the difference. So don't go to a psychiatrist for therapy. I did that once or twice. It was a disaster. It sucked. Don't do it. They're all assholes. They're arrogant doctors who think they're better than everyone, and they're condescending, and they don't give a fuck about you, to be honest with you. That's my opinion, okay? And it's based on experience, by the way. I'm sure there's a few nice ones out there, but the ones I've met have been dismissive and condescending. All right, so there's that. Don't go to a psychiatrist for therapy. Go to a therapist or a psychologist. So I'm going to say that up front, and then I'm going to say to really just to answer the question directly, absolutely, man, like 100%. Go, especially if you're feeling in your gut like you might need it or might want it. That's a fucking sign that you do and that you could benefit from it. Now, if you weren't feeling like that or asking yourself that question, then I would say, well, I don't know. I mean, you could try it, but I don't know if you need to or not. But if you're actually thinking about it, I would say absolutely try it. Give it a try because therapy helped me a lot. Uh, um,
Nice.
and finally,
Nice.
we arrive at the answer. Therapy helped me a lot. Now, in the beginning, before I started it, my wife was suggesting I give it a try, and she does there. She goes to a therapist,
Okay.
and I was very reluctant to do it at the time. I did. This was a few years ago. I really didn't
Hmm.
want to do it, and I didn't. The classic cliche. I don't need it. I didn't think I
Yeah,
needed it.
yeah,
I don't
right.
need it.
Yeah, I would say that I've been guilty of thinking that too, and I'm guilty I'm guilty enough to say that when I was younger, I knew someone who went to a therapist, and I was like, oh my god, why do you need to do that? And that wasn't right. That's not the right attitude. You shouldn't keep that, because, like, you don't know what somebody else is going through. But I think what you said over there was really apt, which is, if you feel like you need to speak to somebody who's an objective person in your life, that by itself is a very, very big sign that you should probably go and speak to somebody. And there's no shame in that. There's no
No,
shame in that.
no, there's no shame at all. As a matter of fact, you should be proud because you had the balls to address an issue in a
Right.
proactive way.
Correct.
There's a lot of people who simply run on their ego and they refuse to get help because that might make them weak. And it's like, no,
Yes.
what makes you weak is carrying around the unhelpful burden of this egotistical notion that you have all the answers already.
Correct.
And that is
Correct.
not going to advance you in life at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say absolutely. If you're thinking about trying it, absolutely go ahead and give it a try. And the only thing I would say is that it's possible that the first try might not be a home run. You might have to try it once or twice, and that's okay. That's normal. The first therapist I tried, who was a psychiatrist, so I guess that's why it failed. But the first one I tried, I didn't like. He was
Mm.
kind of a dick. So that would have been a moment where I could have said, you know what, I tried it and it sucked and it's not for me and I'm
Hmm.
done.
Right.
And by the way, a lot of people do that. A lot of people say, I tried therapy. They went to 2 sessions and decided it wasn't for them and they didn't like the therapist. And so they write off therapy as an option altogether for the rest of their life. And it's like, wow, slow down, buddy.
Yeah.
Why don't you give it one more try? So yeah, I would say don't get discouraged if the first try isn't a home run, and it might be a home run. You might really like the person, but absolutely, yeah, give it a try. You 100% should, and I got a lot out of it, and the reason you can really get a lot out of it is because, first of all, when you make that leap to surrender to that need that you have to get that outside guidance or input or just even a fucking listening ear. Already you've made a huge leap of progress just by doing that. Somewhere subconsciously in your mind, that's processing in a positive way and making you reshape how you see yourself.
Yep.
Where now you're already viewing yourself in a more positive, proactive light.
Yeah.
So already there's progress. And then the next benefit is just you're in a room with an unbiased, more objective third party who will listen to you bitch and moan all you want because
Yeah.
they're getting paid. And look, let's face it, would you ever want to subject someone who wasn't getting paid to have to sit there and make it all about you for an hour? That's not like a super two-way relationship that's healthy
Yeah, it's a
in
bit
real life.
unnatural too in these
Right.
days. No, you won't really. It's not really fair.
It's not fair. And you wouldn't, yeah, you don't want to do so. Yeah, it's actually you said something really important, Curran, which is you said, I don't want to like completely subject my wife to be sort of bearing the brunt of all of my angst and worry and whatever else is happening inside me. And you know what? That's so smart because, in a relationship that's long term, if you want to keep it healthy, you do need more outlets to field your angst or your thoughts than just putting it all on one person, like your wife.
Yeah.
Um, and there are, to think that she should just deal with it, no matter how much you're heaping on her plate, and no matter how much she might already have on her own plate, to think like that is really selfish. Absolutely, yes, a spouse, a wife, a husband should be there for the other and to listen and to comfort and console and guide and all of this. But there's such a thing as excess. Like there's such a thing as,
Yeah.
hey, this is too much for me to handle. And I don't know the right thing to tell you about this.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I had a bad day myself. I'm not in a position to sit here and listen to your shit for an hour. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. And yeah, you can use a few of those and they'll do that a few times. But if you do it excessively, it's sort of
Yeah,
a
it
lot. It's a
starts to
lot.
bog down everybody. And I mean, it's also for those of you who have kids. I have a kid. She's a little girl, and you don't want to put that on her because kids are extremely sensitive. They pick up on things so fast.
Wow.
Like if I am show even a little bit of like like if I'm feeling down or something, like my daughter picks up on it and she's like, she doesn't say what's wrong because she's 3, but she's like, why aren't you talking to me properly? She says that in her voice, and that's my cue to go ahead and remember that I need to kind of make sure that her world is okay, because that's your responsibility as a parent. At least I think it is. So all
That's
the
such a
more
cool
so, like,
story.
yeah, it's important. Like you kind of, I mean, if how you parent is your business, but obviously, like for me, especially when your kid is 3, you want to make sure that they have a good childhood. You don't want them to remember all the times that dad was like moping around the house or not playing with them, or like yelling at their mom because of personal
Yeah.
frustrations, things like that. So in a way, like, you're doing a lot of people around you a favor by just speaking to somebody or unloading something. And just to bring it back a little bit to what we have always talked about on this show, which is like how hard it is to be an artist, because
Yeah.
you have to be your own cheerleader. It's the same thing in all aspects of your life, even when it comes to personal emotions. Like, you kind of have to take action for yourself, to make yourself feel better. Like, you need to do it. No one else is going to come and guide you through that process.
Right.
They'll help you, but you need to be the first person to initiate that action. um, and there's plenty of help out there for you. It's there. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple pearls of wisdom that my therapist said to me that have really helped me and continue to help me. And one of them that she said was, and it is easier to be negative than it is to be positive.
Hmm.
And that really struck me because I think a lot of times when we're in a negative mindset, we kind of pat ourselves on the back in a way of like, yeah, look, that's good. You're a realist. Or, yeah, that's good. You're keeping yourself safe from
Yeah.
disappointment.
Yeah. Right.
You're keeping
Yes.
yourself safe from failure because you're
You're
just
being
of
real.
you're being real
You're
and
being
you're
real. You're
yeah.
being cynic is good. Like, it's,
Yes,
you're breaking your own heart before somebody else does. Like, you're
that's right.
you're kind of setting yourself up for, like,
Failure.
failure.
But that was what really struck through to me was that she sank through to me was that she said it's easier to do that than it is to be positive. In other words,
Right.
it's more noble and admirable to be positive than it is to slump around in a negative state of mind.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe somewhere in culture, some of these negative ideas are reinforced. I'm not sure, but there's some kind of idea like that it's cooler to be like negative or that I don't think that's the case today as much. I mean, it definitely was in the 90s, I think. Our heroes all killed themselves. But
Nice. Just kidding. Sorry. That's not.
nice, what a badass
motherfucker blew his head off. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do
It's
that,
not
please.
cool. It's no
Not
good.
cool.
No
Seek help
bueno.
if you ever have those
Yeah.
thoughts, please.
But so to be clear, the goal is to not end up in that place.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
You have to be able to take something bad and flip it and see the good.
Hmm.
You have to be able to field those negative thoughts because all of us, our brains are filled with them.
True.
And I don't know what it is, man. Something about the way our brains are built.
Yeah.
They're more, and this is, this is literally kind of, I think it's science, but like our
Yeah.
brains are more prone to, they're more liable to be negative than
True.
to be more positive.
Yeah.
And so because we have that negative bias built into our chemistry, you know what? Yeah, it might be because 7,000 years ago, we needed those negative emotions to make us run away from a lion. I don't know.
Right.
And then now
Exactly.
we
Or
still have that same chemistry built into our brain, except we're sitting in an office.
you don't have to worry about tar pits anymore. You can.
Yeah, it turns out.
Breaking news.
Yeah, you're safe.
That saber-tooth tiger you were afraid of is now extinct. You can continue
Yeah.
living.
There's nothing coming to kill you right now,
No.
no matter how much it feels like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, feelings are super powerful, but we can learn to steer them and control them better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think
yeah.
that's the reason people seek out so many things in their life, like whether it be drugs, religion, a lot of things. It's just
Mhm.
because you're trying to deal with the plethora of emotions that live inside you. It's not easy all the time, but it's a process, and what works for you may not work for somebody else. But the brain is way better at remembering negative emotions, holding on to negative things, and it is in fact an effort to flip it and look at the positive. It's I
Yeah,
feel like there's a lot of truth to that.
and to look at your fears, and to be honest with yourself about what those fears are, because if you're
Yes.
not aware of them, it can hold you back in ways. And um, it's okay to have fears, but it's not okay for them to be completely unconscious to the point you're not even consciously aware of them.
Right.
That's when they can control you. So you want to bring those up to the surface, and it's um, there's a lot of pride, there's a lot of shame, there's a lot of these things that keep us reluctant to do that. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of the gateway to progress, I think. And there are practices you can have like meditation, or um, types of self care, or like Curran brought up, seeing a therapist,
Hmm.
and those are all ways to get more loving towards your fears, because the way you will overcome them is not by out muscling them or overpowering them.
Yeah.
The way you'll overcome the negative effects they can have on your life is by making friends with them
Yep.
and opening your heart to them, like looking at them, being aware of them, and acknowledging them, and not just being in denial of them. And that applies to a lot of stuff. So yeah, yeah, therapists are great. Oh, and then just to real quick, in the name of finishing stories, I mentioned that I started taking an antidepressant about a month and a half ago, and it's called Prestique. I stopped taking it. It didn't go great for me.
Okay.
Um, 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 Everybody's brain is really different chemically, and like completely different. It's literally like snowflakes.
Yeah.
And so it literally means nothing to you or to anyone else if that didn't do what I was hoping it would do.
Right.
Um, Again, the drug is called Prestique. I mean, okay, look, like, so what an antidepressant is supposed to do, and there's a couple types of them. There's SSRIs, which are like, I think they help there be more serotonin in you, by sort of, I think, like inhibiting the reuptake of the serotonin, like inhibiting stopping your body from reabsorbing the serotonin. Like, so they increase the levels of serotonin in your body. And then there's another kind called SNRI, which works a little bit differently, and that's the type I was on. I mean, I know it like has increases adrenaline. And point is, antidepressants are working on a chemical level,
Hmm.
and what they're supposed to do is make those low moments you might have a little more manageable, a little less painful, a little less sad. I mean, to put it bluntly, like, you feel those negative emotions a little less. And some people do need them, especially if they're, and it's different for everybody. Everybody has to make that call for themselves. But I wanted to try it. Different drug might be different. I don't know. But what that did to me was kind of numb me out a little too much. It kind of took away my motivation. And I'm not telling this story, by the way, to like deter anyone from trying antidepressants, because there's about 1 million different antidepressants and they're all different. Anyway, but I took this one called Prestige, which you don't hear of often, but it didn't work for me, and I tailed off of it. You have to tail off safely. You can't just cold turkey stop, depending on how long you've been on it. And I was only on it for a month, but you have to like take one pill every other day, and then and
Right.
then
Because
and
your
then
body
none.
gets used to stuff and it can't just handle, like, you going off something.
No,
It's, yeah, I
no,
mean,
it's too much to do it all at once. You have to tail it off. That's the safe way.
right.
But anyway, I'm off of it now, and I have to be honest. I'm really thrilled. I feel really good. I feel really
Nice.
good, and I'll tell you this: although I didn't stay on it, and it didn't really do exactly what I was hoping it would do, it being on that for a month, I'm really glad I did it, because it gave me this heightened appreciation for being fully myself and feeling fully myself. And I mean, again, another drug might have been different, but that particular one, it kind of took away my motivation and my drive to an extent where having those emotions back of motivation and drive for me right now has felt 100% worth the occasional caring a little too much about something, or the occasional getting a little too in my feelings.
Mm.
And now when I do feel sad, or I feel that creeping in, I almost, and I hope that this appreciation lasts, but I almost feel grateful for yeah, I don't want to overstate this, because I really don't want to discourage someone from trying antidepressants if you think it might help.
Right.
And again, they're all different. I'm not yeah, so this is not like a public service announcement. It's more of, I'm just like sharing
Yeah.
my recent experience. That's all. So that's, yeah, that's that story.
Well, that's good. And I know I come from a culture where, like, taking medicine for that stuff is kind of frowned upon. But it's also a hypocritical culture, because you also see people who are clearly struggling and they would do well by through speaking to somebody, but they clearly are, they're afraid of either society's how society looks upon them, or like afraid of how their actions will be perceived. It's changing now, because I think the current generation, like my generation and the younger generation, they don't buy into that whole "what will society think" BS that my parents' generation used to deal with. But it still exists. Yeah, yeah, it's still there. So it's good that you kind of spoke about it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah,
it always feels good to just talk about
yeah.
yourself. Or no, just to, to share, and to share about your life and yourself. And again, that's kind of what therapy is about.
Yeah.
And you know what, this podcast is a form of therapy, by the way. when
Right.
when when we
Yes.
talk about therapy is not just one thing. It can take many forms. Going to see a therapist is a form of therapy. Playing music is a form of therapy. Doing something that makes you feel alive or feel free is a form of therapy. Going and sitting in a beautiful church or a temple,
Yeah.
and it's all empty, and there's this beautiful reverberation in the room of sound and all stone around you, and that's therapy.
Yeah.
Um, so no need for it to be restricted to one definition. But yeah, talking to someone really helps, and this podcast is a form of that for
Yeah.
me at least. And it's been like, yeah, that's one thing I enjoy about it is like there's no holds barred, there's no rules. It's like easy to sit and chat and share.
Yeah, it is. It's just kind of like a somewhat of a safe space, I would say.
Oh yeah,
Because yeah,
totally.
you can speak freely here without
Oh,
judgment. Oops.
oh
Oh,
shit.
there goes that Alice in
Oh
Chains.
my
But
god.
thank you
Wow.
for reminding me. I lost track of the time, and yes, it does look like we are. Hold on, coming up on our the end of our show. But that was a good show in the sense. I
Yeah.
think we did a good job trying to keep things together. So I'm just going to end it with this guy.
Nice. Yeah, that's another thing. Let's give a good send off. Like let's give a positive send off. Let's
Okay,
send them into their week with a nice word before we shut it off.
sure. All right.
Okay.
What's the nice word?
God, now we have to come up with something.
No pressure.
Stay open to your inner voice. Listen to it. Don't shut it down.
Yeah,
Yeah, and look for therapy in all the million ways life can present it to us.
yeah. That's a good way to put it. And if I would say maybe one more thing, if you feel like it, speak to somebody. If you have someone that you um, are lucky, if you're lucky enough to have someone you can speak to about personal stuff, then if there's something that's on your mind, talk to them about it and see
Yeah,
if it makes you feel better. Or if you don't have anybody, then do this: just write it down and
yeah.
see if that
Journal.
helps. That it's helped. It has helped me at times. It's um yeah. There's something to that. There's something there. So
Yeah, there
yeah.
really is. It becomes more manageable somehow when you put it down on the page.
Yeah, it
I
almost
don't
like
know.
you see it and you write it down, you read it back, and sometimes it actually like helps you process it better.
Yes.
Or if nothing else, you're just like, okay, it's out there now.
Yeah.
It's out
Yeah,
there.
it's like you feel at a little more of a safe distance from it.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
able to just see it in perspective a little bit clearer, a little bit better once it's down in a physical form or on the page and it's out of you. And then it also kind of helps you articulate or like define your actual feelings to yourself better.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Journaling is great. And you can even record just there've been a few times in the past I even tried recording myself like when I would have a feeling of panic or when I would have certain thoughts, I would, just like record myself. It was like audio journaling, or
not
something.
such a bad idea. Not such a bad
Yeah,
idea at all.
worth a try. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Well, on that.
awesome. Have a great week, everybody.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see you all next time.
And
Thanks for
Curran,
stopping by.
yeah, and no pressure, obviously, Curran. But if you do end up trying a therapist out or seeing how it goes, feel free to share it with us. We're all ears, and we're all. There's no time in life for pretension and lies.
Yeah.
We're an open book here over at the Bern Gotti building.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'd say so. I think that the time of my life where I would feel, sorry or ashamed of myself is gone. I know myself now,
That's awesome.
and I'm okay with it. So and I wish that for everybody. I wish you all have. I wish you all know yourselves and are happy with who you are.
Yeah, we're all in this together. We really are. we're all we're all rowing upstream together. We're all figuring it out one day at a time.
Yeah.
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 Try to really take it one day at a time. It's much more
Yeah.
manageable that way.
Nice.
Scale it down. Scale it back. All right.
Take it easy.
Yeah,
All right,
take it
guys.
easy. Stay on the rails. Don't go off the rails.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amen.
have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.